Hello friends, family, and other creatures of the sea. Welcome back to a best of 5. Today we have in the bottom right spawning as our blue Protos player playing for Team Alpha X. It is Astrea. And in the top left as our red Zerg player playing for Team Dragon Phoenix Gaming. Of course can only be one. It is Dark. And this once again comes from the Brawlers Cup, in which we have 4 players: Astrea, Dark, Beyond and Classic. This is match 4 between Astrea and Dark. And I'm kind of excited for it, because Astrea is one of these players in the Protos versus Zerg matchup that always makes me, honestly, kind of happy. When I watch him play, I always feel like he understands what's up. And then he kind of gives his own twist, his own flavor to whatever is the flavor of the week. You know, if the flavor of the week is, let's say that it's mint ice cream, we'll put some blueberry in there. Now, that doesn't sound particularly tasty, but he'll make it work. And I'm not even sure if mint ice cream is even that good. Never really had that, I think. That actually doesn't sound too tasty either. You know, cancel that. What if the flavor of the week... Actually, once I had spaghetti ice cream, which also was fairly bad. I had licorice ice cream. There was this this ice cream store relatively close by one of the places where I went on a holiday frequently when I was younger. And they always had like these weird tastes. Well, nowadays they probably just be more regular tastes. But I grew up in a day and age where you had maybe like 8 different like gelato flavors. You know, you had your banana, you had your lemon, strawberry. On a good day, there was, you know, on top of strawberry also forest fruit. You had your yogurt and maybe something like chocolate, and that would be pretty much it. You know, like 7, 8 flavors, and then this store would have like 16, 17, 18, 20, and it would kind of rotate them in and out. And I remember tasting some weird stuff, white chocolate. Gelato as well, delicious stuff. Absolutely fantastic. Now nowadays it's just not as weird anymore. It's like you go into a gelato ice cream store, and these guys, they have like freaking 70 flavors, and they don't even sell regular banana anymore. You know, they have like 4 different types of banana. It's like spicy banana. You have your sweet banana, your sour banana, baked banana, like banana in a pancake. You know, and all of that in gelato flavors. It's crazy. Gelato world has been turned upside down in recent times. And Astrea is one of those people that definitely would be a part of that type of revolution, as he tends to, give his own twist into things. What is Adept doing? Well, so far, taking out 1 drone. That is nice. That's a good start. Taking out a Ling as well. That means 2 kills now on this Adept. Make that 3. As 2 Lings go down, 1 drone fell. And what happened on the other side of the map? We see nothing actually got killed. So far it has been 4 workers down the drain as well as 1 drone. That is a pretty darn decent start here for Astrea. What is this wall though? Holy crap. This looks very interesting. I wonder if a Stalker can fit through this. It almost looks like a Stalker wouldn't be capable of quite fitting through this, but I'm probably incorrect. Now, Astrea is someone that usually has the correct type of wall, so I'm not going to doubt him one bit over here. First Oracle makes its way across the map. Second unit is going to be a Void Ray here, which is a bit of a switch up compared to what we usually see these days. Most of the time, 2, 3 Oracles, and really no Void Ray plays whatsoever anymore. Void Ray is kind of expensive. It doesn't serve that many different purposes. Like, it can deny scouting better than anything else can. But it is kind of slow, and it just doesn't do any real damage majority of the time. So, curious to see how Astrea is going to plan on kind of using that unit. And if there's going to be more Oracles as a follow-up, or if this is it. And it seems to be it for the Stargate production for now. Oracle into Void Ray. Almost feeling like this will go into some type of faster Twilight build, but we don't see the fast Twilight yet. It's going to be Forge and then Twilight. And this is just a fairly standard follow-up from like a double Oracle opener, but I haven't seen this all that much with a Void Ray Oracle, or Oracle Void Ray here, which is what we're witnessing right now. Oracle actually dealing a lot of damage here. Has taken out 4 workers total. This Void Ray still looking for an Overlord. Is not quite finding it, despite being very close in proximity. There we go. Does get spotted right now. Prismatic alignment can be used. Doesn't have to be used. There's plenty of Overlords though already here for Dark, so he's not going to get supply blocked. Evo Chamber on the way. It's relatively late. That perhaps has something to do with the fact that the scout on the 3rd base was also relatively late. Usually you throw down your Evo Chamber if you want to play fast +1 at the exact timing that the 3rd goes down, because then it's pretty safe to do that. Bailing Nest as a follow-up, 5 minutes and 13 seconds into the game. We see the blink, we see the +1, and this is, it's going to 6 gate? 5 gate? Was a 1-gate third, by the way. So just 4-gate, because I can't count. No fourth base out yet here. Oh, it's going to be a +1 Ling Baneling all in here. Oh. Ooh. Wow. All right. Well. Huh. This is a build we actually never see. And it's also a build that I don't think Dark actually necessarily had planned. Look at this. His +1 is not going to finish up before these Banelings start hitting stuff. Like, this +1 is going to finish up by the time Astrea has already left the game. Or if he holds, by the time Dark has already left the game. Stalker's a little bit too far forward here. This is a very bustable location. Let's face the truth here. Instant force field gets thrown down in this direction. Decent force field back here. Super battery gets activated. No re-walling taking place yet. Here comes another sentry. Can it get the force field in time? It can absolutely not. Still no re-walling in place here. There's simply not enough units here that can deal with the links. This is such a sad little situation right now for Astrea, who seemed to be in an okay spot to hold, but didn't seem to respond at all. No re-walling, no extra batteries. Third base was relatively secure. There was plenty of gateways as well, so he only really needed to hold on for like 5-6 more seconds, I think, and then the big warpins can start coming in. +1 blink has finished up right now. Still no melee upgrade for this Ling Bane, as the queens are now dancing in the natural. I think this is really an issue for Astrea, who has kept almost all of his probes alive. He's starting to lose a bunch now. 8 go down. More stalkers are being warped in and might be capable of doing something here, but there's 46 lings, 7 banes. If the natural goes down on the side of Astrea, that would be extremely painful. Stalkers are trying to tank some of these baneling shots, but there's just a lot going down here on the side of Astrea. Right now the drone count is equal to the probe count. And with that natural also going down, I do believe that Dark is in a very winning position right now. If he can take out this battery on top of that, that would be huge, because that means that the third base most likely also is going to be toast. Final bit of anti-air did just die, but I don't think that's going to save the probes over on the third base. I don't even think that's going to end up saving the third base, because there's a lot of links. There is +1 right now, and these links can turn around and start fighting these stalkers and zealots at any point. That's what they do indeed. 31 workers have gone down. This is now an all-in here out of Astrea, and I don't think it's an all-in that has a lot of future. No prism with it, no quick reinforcement, and a wall that's still completely open. So any amount of links that run across the map can really create a bit of a scene in the natural or in the main base of his opponent. Third base is absolutely not mining, so we're with a 1 base all-in right now, basically what Astrea is doing, mining from a single base versus, well, slightly more mining coming out of Dark. Dark does have an equal amount of upgrades. Doesn't actually have that many queens available, but the link count is so large that I don't actually believe it's going to be very much. Here comes the surround on the stalkers, and try to blink away a little bit. Actually get decent trades here for Astrea, but once again, just getting outproduced 2-1 here. You can see it in that eco, like 1200 minerals against 2100, 2200 is not entirely ideal. So he doesn't only need to get good trades, he needs to get insanely good trades, and he needs to do it quickly. And I don't think these requirements can be met with the army that Astrea is currently working with, and thus I believe that this game is honestly kind of over. No worker production behind this, no third base being rebuilt. There's 4 hatcheries already for Dark as well, and it seems to me that the final fight is happening here. Despite this, honestly, not looking that good when it comes to unit count for Dark, but he has so much time right now that he won. He can build more queens as well. He's plenty of cash in the bank. I'm surprised we're not seeing more queens. Okay, here we go. And he can just continuously produce units. Here comes the Ling run by I talked about earlier. What are you going to warp in? Like half a zealot and 2 stalkers. You have a battery there, but I don't think that is going to be enough by itself against these 1-1 Lings, which they are right now. Carapace has finished up. This push looks a little bit scary, but I think it's not truly scary. It's fake. It's a fake scare. Absolutely a fake scare here, because links can basically come back at any point, and the stalker count simply isn't high enough. Or queens by themselves also pretty fine. 4 more on the way. Brings the total soon up to, I guess, 8 or so. 7. Once these extra queens finish up, but yeah, Link can go home at any point. This is all there is right now. This is simply all there is. 15 workers for Astrea, 40 workers for Dark. Not a drone more has been built since like minute 4 or so, minute 4:30, and it paid off here. GG gets called. Dark wins game number 1 over on Babylon. Game 2 will be wait, what in the world is this? Will be played over on Ancient Cistern. And it starts with a proxy edge. I don't think This is an all-in proxy hatch. I think this is a macro proxy hatch. A classic macro build. Yeah, I think so. And it's really not that uncommon to play it, but it used to be a lot more common, especially as a third hatchery. So what you would do as a Zerg player, get a hatch first on your own natural, and then get a hatchery on your opponent's natural as well. That way you have a pretty strong economy yourself while denying the Protos anything of the sort. There's going to be a double Zealot opener here coming out of Australia. This is an opener I'm absolutely unfamiliar with. He's denying his opponent a lot of hatchery. Look at the money here that Dark is saving. Or they're forced to save, basically. He can't spend it. What is it? Okay, now we see a Roach Warren. So Astrea just forced him into an all-in, while Astrea's opening with 4 Zealots. That's a pretty decent opener here for our American Protos player, I think. Okay, 3 Zealots, an Adept, Warp Gate. First 2 links are out, third piling coming out as well soon. There is money available for a Stargate. I think would be a good building to construct here. I mean, there's literally nothing yet. And Astrea is hyper aware of this as well. Look at this. He's like, wait a second. Still have no base. Is this it? Is this it? It actually is it now. A tumor is going to get dropped here. It's popped out by the queen. Ooh. That was some nasty control out of Astrea. Not the good type of nasty. It's actually quite bad. Loses a Zealot there. Now, will eventually, hopefully, take out this queen. Is there still a Zealot in the main? Yes, there is. There's more links coming out. Stargate coming in as well. This creep tumor is annoying me. And it's just pure Adepts coming out. Which could be an issue against Roaches. Ideally, you want Stalkers against Roaches. More Roaches are in production. Okay, here comes the next creep tumor. It's gonna get one shot. Adios. There's still two Adepts. Third Adept is out. So these Adepts should be capable of absolutely blasting the links. But the Roaches are a different issue. Yeah, we immediately see Stalker production. I think cancelling Warp Gate and starting a Void Ray here would also be a correct call. Okay, just waited a bit and now Stargate doesn't have Chrono Boost available for it. We have another Queen on the way. This is actually... Oh no. This is the most Protoss scenario I've seen in my life. Where you try to force out units from your opponent and then die. Because you forced out units from your opponent. This is my Lightning Wings of Liberty. Do like a 3-gate pressure and then your opponent surrounds you with links. Because you forced out these links and you lose the game. Oh no. Dark didn't want to all-in. Like he took this gas and the Roach War is so late. Oh my god, this is so frustrating. This is so stupid and frustrating to watch. This is actually unbelievable. We have another Queen walking across the map as well. There's a Spore coming down in the main base, of course, in case there's going to be some type of Oracle harass. Now, if Astrea gets to stabilize on one base, I think that would be good. Right? I still think that it's actually completely okay if he stabilizes on one base. I don't really see an issue. It's going to take out that Spore for starters. There's a lot of batteries out here as well. We have some Ravagers on the way. I don't think that all these batteries are... if you bile over here, you can hit 3 batteries at the same time, which usually isn't the ideal play. Once more, this is really not it. Like, all these batteries are just getting biled. Biled. Yeah, I actually think that the Astrea might have lost it. Is supply blocked as well? Has a second Void Ray coming out? This Immortal is never gonna pop. That Immortal is actually quite important, but I don't think it's gonna matter because it's never gonna go out. Building all of this building so they can be double biled. These go down for free. Not an unfortunate ending from King number 2. This was really stupid. Oh my god, what a silly game that was. I think that initial fight against the Queen didn't help either, and yeah, just no Stalkers, no batteries in the natural. A little bit too late with the initial Void Ray, I think, and then afterwards having all batteries just bordering each other, it makes it so much easier for the Ravagers getting supply block so the Immortal doesn't pop. So many things went wrong here, ending with the destruction of these 2 Void Rays. Dark takes the 2-0 lead here in his best of 5. Royal Blood is map number 3 after that frustrating game 2 for Astrea. And I know exactly how he feels in that scenario, because we've all been there as a Protoss player, you know? You scout, you see no hatch, you're being proxied, Your opponent has no eco. You know they have no eco. You're staying on one base. You're being a good boy. But you're only building zealots and adepts. There's no stalker in there, which means that by the time that the roaches come out, and especially on creep, they're going to be running circles around your zealots and adepts. They're going to be destroying them. You don't have any batteries there. First Void Ray is too late. I appreciated that Astrea went for a Stargate. I think that was actually the correct call there. But I do believe he should have put a little bit more effort into getting that Void Ray out quicker. He used a Chrono Boost on, I think, a Stalker it was instead. He didn't cut the Warp Gate. Well, it was fairly obvious to me that Warp Gate probably wasn't going to play much of a role in the game the moment that roaches are out. You're most likely either going to lose that pylon, and if you don't lose that pylon, you can just continue producing slow through the gateway. I think Void Ray has priority in that case. And probably want to get batteries on the high ground ASAP as well. I think it was a little bit late with that. And then all of them in the same spot. It's just a little bit unfortunate, let's face it. Let's face the truth here. Oh no, second game in a row Proxy hatch. But this is closer to the Proxy hatch that I discussed in the last game. The one that I find honestly harder to deal with majority of the time, because it is a more economically focused, more focused on getting an economic edge here rather than focused on trying to kill your opponent straight up. So the Protos response, some people believe that the best Protos response is to get 2 zealots out, then followed up with adepts, get relatively quick tech off of 2 gases, and deny your opponent's third for a little bit after you clean out your natural. Other people believe that pulling 5 workers and sending 1 zealot to deal with the hatchery is good enough. You get a faster nexus, slightly slower tech, you have less income, and you also can't produce as much pressure on the other side of the map. So there's different schools of thoughts here, but the one thing that we do know is that you don't want the creep tumor to be capable of being popped out from this hatchery. So if this hatchery starts building a queen, your absolute focus is always going to be making sure that a creep tumor doesn't go up. If a creep tumor goes up with a build like this, I think the game just ends. So I appreciate the double zealot here. If you're not pulling throws. Stargate as the first building. Oh, it's going to be a cancel here. Nice move out of Dark. Dark realizing that this response was pretty darn powerful and says, okay, I can't actually do anything about this. I'm not going to finish it. That's going to cost me 225 minerals and also a drone. So instead, I just cancel, keep my drone alive, and, you know, also keep 225 minerals alive rather than getting a 20-second more delay on your opponent's base, which isn't all that important. So let's take a look here at the actual situation for Astrea. What does he have? What can he do? 2 zealots, 2 adepts, Oracle on the way as well. So denying the opponent's third base is going to be fairly easy, especially until link speed is out. But another thing that could definitely add on to that is if creep tumors get sniped. Because if your queens can't move over towards your third base, then even speed links might not be good enough because there's oracles in the sky. You need something to deal with the oracles, and usually that's the queen. I think this adept finished accidentally. This does not look like a move that you would want to do majority of the time. Okay, here we go. It's gonna maybe trade with 1 ling. No, actually missed-targeted there. And the third base goes up. That is a mistake here out of Astrea. Should not have let that happen. Oracle is out. And his own third base could be going down pretty soon as well, of course. Because he has control of the skies. Once you have control of the skies as Protos, you can pretty much do whatever you want. Once again, Oracle into Void Ray, just like before, will be capable of sniping at least 1 Overlord on the map. And hopefully also get a couple of drones here. That's 2 drones that get taken out for free. Well, for free, a little bit of hull damage here. And of course, the Pulsar Beam also costs energy. So energy lower than before. Third base hasn't gone down yet on the side of Astrea, but he has the funds that are required for it. He's just too afraid right now to move over to that third base location. Link's trying to get in. I don't really like how this wall is set up, by the way. It seems a little bit dicey. And third base actually getting some major delays here on the side of Astrea. 434 into the game, and he's afraid of a link flood right now, I think. He's really afraid of a link flood. Now, this Overlord is going to end up dying, which is nice. Please don't finish this pylon, for the love of God. Thank you so much. Oh my God. I will get really scared there for a second. Forged Twilight as well as gas 3 and 4 before the fourth base now. So this is really starting to hurt a bit, I think, for Astrea. Astrea also does not have a Void Ray in position. Link's coming in with the surround. We'll take out a couple of these adepts, but don't get into the main base. And the third base still not up. 5 minutes into the game. The money was here. 4 minutes and 10 seconds in. So 60 seconds have been delayed by a mere 12 links. 60 seconds is just a huge deal. Look at the oversaturation that we're going to be getting in the next, 71 seconds? Yeah, the next 71 seconds, in which this Nexus is building. On top of that, if you divide 71 by 12, you get, what, 6 or so? Almost 6. So that's 6 workers that you have left, just by being... Well, actually, that's not how it works, because it was an entire 72 seconds delay, 60 seconds delay. So it's just 5 probes that you'll have less, purely based on the fact that your Nexus is delayed by a minute. So it really cuts into your eco, and definitely was worth the trade that Dark got with those links. Dark, however, is struggling at spending his money. He was floating 700, and that's because he's going for a Roach Queen push behind this. Look at this. Queen Walk is dead. No. You might be dead here, Astrea, is what Dark says as he starts moving across the map with, what is this, 5, 6 queens. Transfuse, of course, not going to be available. And what else is not going to be available is... well, any type of units here for Astrea. Astrea will be forced to cancel this third base, I think. I don't even think that the roaches were necessary. This could have just been pure Ling Queen. Yeah, third base gets cancelled. 50 workers against 42. This is the moment where Dark wants to drone up. Probably head into Hydras. I want to say that Hydras might be a fine way of going about this. There's so many units here as well, is that taking a third base right now is completely unrealistic for Astrea. So this is going to be a delay until what, like the 8-minute mark? 7:30 I'm feeling at least. Because the energy on these oracles is going to run out at some point. Links get the surround. More gateway units get blasted here. One Ravager does end up falling. But every second you delay is probably a valuable second. You don't want to lose all of your roaches, but honestly this is just looking really bad here for Astrea once more. This is starting to feel more and more like a clean 3-0 sweep in my mind. And Dark, he can really do whatever he wants. He can go for Roach Bane. He can go Hydra Bane. He can play Hydra Roach for all I care. He has a lair. I was going for a Spire. Okay, this is the one thing I'm actually not a huge fan of. Like literally the only thing, because a Spire does introduce some possibility of the opponent going across the map and killing you while you're transitioning into the Mutas. There's going to be a large upgrade lead available for Astrea with a +2 blink push. And that is maybe something that potentially would be difficult to deal with. Overseer not being used right now, so these TTs, well, TT in the main at least, is going to run around for a bit more. Look at this bad boy, he's just stuck. I guess Dark forgot that he built that, which is a mistake. This TT gets taken out. Still no forward base for Dark. It is a little bit late, but his eco has been pretty darn good for a while now. He's getting 6 Overlords as well. 2 drones end up dying. Where the heck was that? Okay, these 2 oracles dealing some damage. This bad boy still hasn't been built, which is nice. That actually allows Astrea to catch up a little bit once more with his pro production. Because he can go up to 6 gases as well then, and his opponent's going to be on 6 gases. If Astrea has an okay response to these initial mutas, he's going to be fine. What was that? Did you just try to hit one of his overseers? Didn't end up working out, but cool move. A lot of cannons though. Astrea is afraid. He's the opposite of Eminem, who was not afraid. At least that's what he stated on his album Recovery, which was released in 2010. Seven gas on the way already here. 8 gas also coming out. I'm kind of sad for Astrea that he's not going to see the 8 gas, because that would have been kind of an indication of what's to come. I think these mutas are going to fly in, kill 10 workers, and Astrea needs to make a decision then in his life, and that decision is going to be, do I move across the map to try to go for a cheap win, or do I go uber defensive, take a fort base at some point, and hope that life is going to be okay? And I think he's going for the uber defensive. He's lost 5 workers so far, he's going to lose 6, and mutas are... They create an extra dimension of trouble for Protos often, where usually you just need to defend like your natural and your third, or your third and your fourth. Now all of a sudden all your bases are vulnerable by a force that can easily ping pong in between the bases. So rather than just requiring units in position, you also need to actively move units while still needing to have units in position due to the threat of banelings, roaches that come in, snipe your static defense, all of that good jazz. So always introduces a lot of trouble for Protos players. There's quite a few mutas out, and it seems like Dark is not done yet with pressing down that muta button. Low worker count, 73, but 8 gases nonetheless, going up to 10. So it seems like he's just trying to mess out these mutalisks, in which case having a lot of minerals is not that important. Having a lot of gas, however, is absolutely of the essence, and that's what we're seeing here with Protos being researched. I don't quite understand that. But I do like the fact that we're continuously producing these mutas. Single Stargate is going to struggle massively at keeping up with that mutalisk production. And I think that Astrea has realized that as he threw down a second Stargate, is getting his +1 air weapons as well. So I'm not so sure if that's going to be enough. Here comes a big attack over on the third base. There's 2 Archons. There are a few Disruptors, which is nice against the Ravager Roach. But... the Muta Force is the real banger here, okay? That's the real problem, I think, that you're dealing with as Astrea. And so far he's been rotating well defensively, partly due to, of course, that Observer that spots absolutely everything. I'm almost feeling like a straight-up engagement here would really help Dark just kind of gain a little bit of momentum with these mutas once more. He has 30 out on the map right now. Stalker's never going to be in position. This is way too little Phoenixes to do this type of stuff, isn't it? There goes the battery, and potentially a couple of these pylons are gonna get taken out as well. That means no more Phoenix production. Control with 3 Phoenixes against 35 mutas is practically impossible. That's what we're seeing here. Look how long it takes for Astrea to take out one of these mutalisks, while at the same time, if you miss micro once, you take enough damage basically to kill 4 Phoenixes at the same time, including the bounce, of course. Yeah, right now Dark is just giving up some of these mutas, saying, here, attack these, and I'm just killing everything else on the ground. At the same time, we have an attack over here. I think the main army went across the map, actually, which seems like an interesting call. Perhaps a good one, although I don't think it's quite going to be enough. Production has been destroyed already in the main base, so there's no more units popping out right now. 2 Phoenixes against 26 mutalisks, which are now returning back home. There are 2 Archons as well as 10 Stalkers, but I don't think that's quite going to be it here defensively. +1 on these mutas, actually putting in some work. Final Archon isn't even going to get targeted down. These mutas just destroying the Disruptors right now as more and more mutas are hitting the field. +2 halfway down. Lynx flooding in as well. And I think once this Archon dies, the Lynx is just going to be way too strong. Mutas in the air. Dark wins game number 3 as well with a clean 3-0 sweep over his opponent Astrea here. Impressive result, Dark. And that is going to be it for me today. Thanks all so much for watching. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, don't forget the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hopefully I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Thank you, and bye-bye.